This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's
Nope, I'm muted. Awesome. Hi Jess,
job
how are you?
was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
No.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the
I remember
pressure.
this ending.
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
Ever.
Stanley waited. Hours passed.
I think for this... Yeah.
Then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Click.
But Stanley simply couldn't
okay,
handle
restarted.
the
I was
pressure.
hoping something different
What if
happened.
he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly.
No, you could skip the
thing to do now,
that you've
Stanley
seen
thought to
before.
himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever.
Yep.
I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed. Then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer.
Alright,
Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Okay, let's not close the door this time. I think there was one just actually waiting for time, but we're not going to do that one right now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I don't remember. Oh, there we are. I knew it. I remember this ending. The glitch ending. Yeah.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map. until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Ugh.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it.
Right.
Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well, now,
thanks.
I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
All right.
All of his co-workers
We're gonna hit
were
yes
gone.
this time.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-work. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the
Look
game
into
for its
the nothingness.
insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Can't jump.
Well,
Achievement
I
unlocked.
don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people
going to the end.
considered so manly.
Cheers.
But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
Rip.
Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
That was a beautiful song. Can't remember how long this goes on for. Click, 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 click. think it just repeats forever. But I don't remember. We're gonna assume it repeats forever. And
All of his co-workers were gone. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
do it. Click.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
I don't know where door 417 is. Aw, it's got me there. Oh, here it is.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
I'm doing this. There's no stopping me now.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Okay, let's find door 415. 417. How dare they spill their coffee? I hate Mondays. It's fair. There it is.
Now, back to door number 437.
Onwards. Do-do-do.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, do you?
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Come on. Don't do this to me.
Yes!
There we
This
go.
is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Of course.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Going.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it!
Whoa.
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very
Yay.
proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Worth it. Alright, let us go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, we listened to the narrator this run.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Weekly targets. Marketing Mondays. Termination Tuesdays. Oh my. We're broke Wednesday. Mergers. Pranking floor meeting? Floor 5? Pranking floor 5 meeting. If that was an S, it's a 5. Tuesday. Legal. Office party! Nice. Rest in peace, friends. What? Oh, that's the slide changing. I was confused about what extra click I was hearing. Get Chris out of the boardroom closet. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Aw. Who moved my desk? The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. What? Desks are not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day. With no exceptions. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Everyone is unique. You, most of all. Thank you. But do people want things? Number of slides on the slide charts. Charts of slides. Slides. Happy feelings. Violet James, you are fired. Money. More money. Things. But with money to buy more things? Please, no more charts. Please, I'm begging. Boss appreciation minute. Graphs? Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. Profits. Okay. Broom closet. Hell yeah.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Do-do. Ooh, the executive bathroom. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Extreme bathrooms and Time magazine, of course. Business strategy. Gun to a panda's head. Oh my god. No, going to the boss's office first. No elevator right now.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
That's right.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Dark. So very dark.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
If I want to, can I go back up? Oh, I could. Oh, whoops.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up.
Wait.
Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I actually didn't want to go back. I was just curious if I could. Because there's a lot of stuff in this. What happens if I just go all the way back to my office?
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated.
I'm a little disappointed.
It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have. An incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Oh. Okay.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all
Oh,
of
I'm
this?
going back up now because of that.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator.
Playing with the
I
elevator.
can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Uh-oh. Can't see shit. Nope. Okay, there's actually nothing there. As far as I can tell. It's too dark to actually see anything, though. Can I take this with me? I would like to take that with me.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready.
Are you?
I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
Yes.
All right.
Have
I
you?
have fully come to terms with
Have
it.
you really?
I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Okay. I think there's another code for that besides the one he gives you. I just don't remember what it was or how to find it.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it?
I went
sure,
right back
now
up.
it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
And, boop. Oh, he didn't say anything. Oh, wait, there we are.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Okay. Oh, that's slow.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know?
Thank you.
People look up to you. Which is why...
Oh, that's a
I
mistake.
didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better.
Oh, no.
Oh, good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
World's healthiest human being. All tricks revealed. How we did it. The pyramids. Live, the guy who went to Mars. All eyes on Stanley, live on stage. Hell yeah. Stanley, Stanley, Stanley. The storyteller. Stanley reveals all in his new book. An evening with a world peace, baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Stanley from the Stanley Parable tonight, live on stage. The man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable. Yeah. Stanley. Q&A with world's first sentient machine. Doing great.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit
ready.
about the nature of surprise in
Almonds,
storytelling
chair, gum,
and what
table,
it means to
nut bar.
craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh,
Wait.
don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
I made a check mark.
Okay, it looks like they're
That's-
ready for you. Go get them.
Oh no, is that something? Find all these little boxes on whiteboards and check mark them? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dance with the dude who came up with pizza. Yeah! Up again, down again. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. Your coworkers. Break a leg, champ. Your boss. No one tells stories the way you do. Go get 'em, Tiger. I love the way you ride elevators. Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You are too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. Stanley, my true love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. Your wife from the apartment ending. I didn't even get that ending yet. Oh my god. Hell yeah. Aww. 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 Oh shit, we're here already.
When Stanley came to a set of two
Alright,
open
let's
doors,
actually follow
he
the
entered the door on his left.
Narrator now.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Just checking the whiteboards. Nothing. 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 Okay. To the broom closet.
Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just
Dan
going
is
to
having
be
a boys'
patient
night.
and wait
Nice.
for you to
Good for
finish
him.
whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
And what are you up to? Ah, whatever you want. Excellent.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
And right now you're having lunch. Fair. What are you having for lunch?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover
What was
not
the
an
number?
indication of
I don't
any
remember what the
human
number was.
life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his
Leftover
feet.
chicken burger?
And
Nice.
so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Oh, it was 2845.
But of course,
Not the number, it's just the
Stanley
wrong
couldn't
order.
possibly. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
To the mind control facility. Boop.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true
Fire.
nature revealed.
Where's Stanley?
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a
I
screen.
think it was around here somewhere.
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What number are we? We're 427. There we are.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Boop, boop, boop. Mind controls idle, waiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Very well.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I don't remember if there's something to just not do it. Guess not.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Good for Stanley. If only we could all be happy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Fine. It's 2 of 5. Dance on their desk, if I can. New content. Okay, I need to go in here.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
What does it mean? I mean, we're going in. We're going in.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Aww. Okay.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
And back on the elevator. Dang. Back on the elevator. Aw. New content.
All right.
The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh my god. Hell yeah, let's jump. I can jump while I'm in this circle. doing it. I did it! Oh, I can't jump anymore. Wow, I want to jump more. Let me jump more.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I could jump for like 36 times. It was great.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes, I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these
Test
people on
achievement, please
Twitter
ignore.
and hold them personally accountable.
Test achievement
It's
description,
my
please
fault,
replace
Stanley.
this.
I built up
That's
too much
amazing.
anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Wait, this is different. Mr. Narrator?
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
I'm coming, Mr. Narrator. What you got for me? Coffee nut. I don't think I want it anymore.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Ooh, fancy.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing
God.
all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
I'm absolutely trying to see if I can get through the fence. Seems to be a no.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Wait, does that say? The British Academy of Film and Television Arts just taped over Stanley Parable. Nice. The Stanley Parable. Smile because it happened. A trip down memory lane. $1. Me first dollar. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. This one has super go outside. Don't play for 10 years. New video game releasing today. Creator surprisingly down to earth. Why go outside? I don't know. Why would anyone want to go outside? It's gross out there. It's hot, it's cold, it's snowy, it's sunny, it's windy, rainy, it's terrible outside at all times. In loving memory, little Stan. Oh, it's so cute. Is it humid right now? I actually don't know what it's like outside. I just know I don't want to go. So nice. That's fine. You don't need to see people. Who cares if your hair looks awful?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3.
Holy
it was
shit, a
all
Persona
of them. And
reference.
Now, it's nothing. It's no games at all.
And
It
Persona
isn't even the
3
Stanley
of all
Parable
games.
anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
That was shocking. What's down here? Memory zone maintenance. We'll go there later. We want to just chill this way first.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Yeah? Wait, why can't I go to the serious room? I want to go to the serious room.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Oh, now the door's open. Okay.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh my.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh my god. Steam reviews.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Poor narrator. He's letting reviews get to him. He made lip balm. Nice. I have no idea what's in lip balm. Obviously I want soft kissable lips. Come on, who doesn't?
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record.
Oh God, what's
Only
happening?
Positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
That's the skip button. Talk. What the? I really thought there'd be something out here.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No.
I'm not pressing that
button. The Stanley
button.
Parable is a game for the people.
Unless he
And if the
starts
people
repeating
want
himself.
silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've
Press
just begun
media skip
an
button.
interminable monologue, and it goes
I
something like
have
this. The story,
the ability
and the choices,
to tune
or what
out
have you, and therefore by becoming
whatever,
it is, so on and so
whenever.
forth, until inevitably, until the end
Thanks
of
to my
time,
mom.
at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the
We're gonna
logic
do
of
laps until he's
elimination
done
working
talking,
backwards,
or
the
repeats
deduction
himself.
therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is.
Yeah,
How many
probably.
billions left until so
Probably
much
would.
more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably,
Does he repeat himself?
until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards,
sounds
the
like he's repeating
deduction
himself.
therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story, and the choices, or what have you,
Yeah, he's
and
repeating.
therefore
But he's
by becoming
repeating.
it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see,
See?
blah 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 blah
He's
blah blah
repeating.
blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just
Time
yet.
to push the button.
Until 204.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such
Oh my God,
ruminations.
I'm gonna have to
Not
press
that,
it
of
again
course,
after
you need a
this.
description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply
Probably.
a series of choices made by the person who you are
We're always going to
or
wait until
were
he starts
or will
repeating
be
himself.
at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that
Well, I do
choice into
laps.
being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've
What
ever
happened?
been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite?
I switched to like
You
a
see,
Discord.
it could in fact be both of these things at once.
Oh, it's probably 'cause
that
I
you
all
are
tapped
both
out.
making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has
Absolutely.
a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the
Why is he just going to repeat
It
these
is
words
an
forever?
unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
I'd pick Manifesto
Treatise,
personally because it sounds
manifesto.
much nicer.
Treatise,
Well, evil. It sounds much better, I should say.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely.
Yes.
Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before.
This is a beautiful
If there is
review.
any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, it is this. What a fortune, a privilege, a joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is time for us to become our greatest selves, as great as we ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow. Now, Stanley, that's a review. It's perfect. It's the perfect review.
If I were
It's the review
copying
I've
this,
always dreamed of
I would-
receiving.
I would absolutely copy
Well,
this
I
and
find
put it
again.
down as a review.
It's simply too wonderful.
Ish.
I have to
But I don't.
experience
That's
this
too much effort.
just
I hope someone else
one more
takes
time.
the transcript from this and makes
the
it
ashes
a
of depravity
review, because that'd be
rises
hilarious.
the phoenix of quality. How? Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and
Wait,
longer.
the door's gone.
That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
Press the
I
button?
think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Yeah.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll
No.
take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall?
Try.
Is there any possibility that
boom.
you could, say,
Nothing
slam
happened.
your body into the wall until enough damage is done
Try.
for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work
Trying.
with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please,
Press the
please.
skip button?
Please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
He's not coming back, is he?
Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there.
Oh
I
my.
don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley.
going to
I
push
can't
the button.
touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that
When he's
sooner
done
or
talking.
later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, I know you too well. You'll be leaving me oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews.
He repeated
those
himself.
reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. Oh, Stanley, you're
Oh
back.
God.
You're back. Oh, my
Only
goodness.
one night's left.
I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a
Plant's
single
dead.
person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
Anything back here?
Would you think
There's a
that
light.
it's exactly the same as always?
Why is there a
Doesn't
light back
that
here?
feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because
what
I
the heck
know
is
you
body
can't
butter?
hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving.
Sounds like something you
It
put
was
on
the
if you want to
vessel
cook
I needed,
yourself.
Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters
Yeah.
anymore. I'll give it all
Yeah.
up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through.
How
I've
long's
had
it been?
so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you.
It's been
To begin with,
84
there is only
years.
regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant,
The narrator die? Narrator? Is he dead? It's been so long. He's gone. Is that the button beeping? Is it that? Either way, I hate it. I hate it. I'm pressing the button again. Please stop the beeping.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition.
Back.
But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no
Back to silence. Wait, I can't press the button? Oh, there it is. It's just delayed. I'm always going to check behind this in case like a door appears. Fish! Fish are gross, but enjoy it.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the
We've lost them.
end, is never the end, is never the end.
Oh, we're back to silence. Anything back there? That's always your response though, Jess. Always. Oh my. Building's falling apart. Got a Portal 2 vibe going on now. Ooh, nice. Eventually, oh, less nice. Spooky. Very spooky. I think the place is haunted. Is it broken? Can I press it again? No, it's broken. I have to go outside. Oh, I think the world ended. It's just desert as far as the eye can see. Let's go this way. I missed the narrator. Oh. Is it over? We're back in the office. Narrator?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Excuse me.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Turn off all the computers. What happened? We died. Oh my god, new content. That's a fancy sign. To the new content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
It's new content. There's the sad elevator.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Super ultra
Which is
deluxe.
why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a
black,
full-fledged
red,
sequel.
and white.
An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many
now
different directions.
put it on your head.
This is what fans have truly been asking for.
The end is never the end. Again. 427. Man, really likes the black, white, and red
Calling
theme
it
here.
the Stanley Parable 2
Taste the
is
sequel.
just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Just the two of us. We oh my god. No, I'm not singing it. Mostly because I don't remember exactly how the tune goes, besides that one part. New content part 2 is in. Old and busted. New hotness. Cool red section of the chart. They're back 2 doors. One day you'll learn how to spell. One day. But that is not today. Exactly.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
You know what? That's kind of true. I like to think it's hard charm, do you?
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. Hear your name in the game. Oh my god, that's new. Let's go press the button.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Too small.
Isn't that
Just
wonderful?
Right. I really hope it just says Stanley. But we're gonna find out very soon if it even works. Stan. Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Okay, I'm okay with
Here,
this.
let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim,
Grandfather's name is Jim.
falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim,
I got this.
and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
I can do this.
Do you feel it deeply?
I can do this.
Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Alright, I got this. Jim. Holy shit, it said my name.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Okay.
Jim. Ooh, it hits even harder the second time.
Amazing.
If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy.
Yeah.
Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Aww,
I'm putting the Jim button away.
definitely.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim. Aww. We are all Jim now.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this
You
feature.
heard Jim in the game. The button that says Jim. Okay, I love that all the signs changed. Alright, where do we want to go now? Let's check out the merch. The t-shirt is the best new feature. To the Reassurance Button.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well,
where's the bucket?
I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
I don't know what you're trying to type there either.
Onto the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
I gotta pick up the bucket? I have a bucket. Oh my god, I love it.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh, thank you.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Can I keep the bucket? Am I actually allowed to keep the bucket now? I have a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I want to check out. That two's just different. Alright, I want to check out this path. Epilogue. I don't want to go this way yet. Let's go this way. A whole new office. Red is the new orange. Oh, the baby came! The baby is all grown up. Oh my god. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. Jump circle, infinity hole. What was this way? Office decorations and the infinite hole.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday.
Get well.
Which would you go with?
What? Happy 12th birthday, step niece. Or get well someday. Which one do I want? Oh my god. Why is your 12th get well someday?
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Oh.
Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
I'm sorry. It's happy 12th birthday, step niece now.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
The jump circle, it's back!
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Aww. Aww. Where's Q? I want to go to Q. Free achievement. Where is that? I am here, which means Q is there? What else is there? Merch. Went there. Settings World Champion. Settings World Champion. There's nothing here. I want to be a Settings World Champion. Settings.
This...
I'm a Settings World Champion. I don't know what I'm doing. Never mind, I don't want to do that anymore. Alright. Oh, I went the wrong way. Oh, there it is. Free, new, and easy achievement. It just works. I can't believe it's that simple. Get it here. Okay. I feel like this is a trap. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now,
This seems like a
here's
trap.
something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Is it though? Let's find out.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
You monster. At least I have my bucket.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Haven't seen collectibles or the infinite hole. Let's go to the infinite hole. Orange body butter. Ew. Sounds gross. But then again, just body butter sounded gross. Hole entrance infinity. Is this the hole? No. Oh, the hole's in there. It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I absolutely want to jump, but at the same time... No, I don't use lotion. Although I do have a hand lotion just because I'm in a cooler a lot, so my hands crack. Alright. I don't want to jump yet. I'm not ready to jump. Not ready to jump yet. Gotta explore the rest first. Collectibles. I probably should check the infinite hole. It's probably not infinite yet.
Ah, collectibles.
Can you find them?
Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh my god. I did it. I got one. What a
God, it
six.
really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
The exit is that way. I'm not ready to go that. I don't want to go to the exit. What haven't I seen yet? I haven't actually jumped in the infinite hole. I haven't gone this way.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Exit's that way. And this is the epilogue? Oh no, Settings World Champion is up here. Oh, do I have to get the achievement to be able to go in there? Set all settings sliders in the menu to all the available numbers. All the sliders to all the available numbers? Do I have to do it like one at a time? many sliders are there? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sliders. We'll do that some other time. We're going into the hole. Oh, right, I've been in there. It's hole time. Ba, ba, ba. Geronimo.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I have my bucket with me, I'm
Okay,
good.
Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is.
Oh, I want to hit the
It's an
bottom.
extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Ow.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're
Pause
so
buttons in
clever.
Roman numeral 2.
Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Alright.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
Bonk.
Oh.
It did.
The holes seem even shorter to you this
Got
time.
smaller.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole,
If I jump again,
you
we'll
can
be
hit
even
the teleport
smaller.
button and come join me.
You know I have to test that.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
I haven't.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
That was really short.
Oh, okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Aww.
I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Agreed.
Oh, there it is. The
Oh.
shame of my lies come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're
I can't
obsessed
get
with
out.
holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the teleport button not working?
No.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
It's not working.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than
No.
you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone.
Yep.
You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
What's happening? What was that noise? Wait, it's going back down. This has been my favorite hole. I love it. Goodbye. I am descending to the pits of hell, where I belong. The hole has accepted me. Goodbye, surface dwellers. Oh my god. Change your perception? Next song. Ah, yes. This is the inside of my brain at all times. What did I become? This is my perspective I'm keeping forever for now. Error 4 not found. Oh, that's the Steam. This is the Gmod error when you don't have the,
Stanley!
Huh? What?
Oh good, you're awake.
What?
It seems you had sort of dozed
Aw.
off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we
Aww.
can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the
No.
looks of things, you and I will have many,
I was
many
having so much
years here
fun.
in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Is it gonna start falling again? Oh, sounds like it's gonna start going down again. Oh, it restarted. I hit the ending. Oh, it didn't fully restart. And I still have my bucket.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
What's left? Epilogue? Did I do the epilogue? No, I didn't. Did I do the epilogue? No, wait, no, there wasn't anything up there. I couldn't go up there. That's right. I want to be a settings master. So I have to adjust every slider to every number. Do I have to save it at each number? Or can I just go slowly enough? We're gonna stick with 72. No? I'm not really sure what I need to do. If I do need to, I don't really want to do that because that'll take forever. Alright, to the exit I guess. I've gone everywhere. Ooh, can I grab another collectible actually? Can I go back in and get a collectible? Nope, it's closed off. Guess we're just going to the exit now. Wait, did I miss anything else on here? Jump circle check, map check. This map makes no sense, I just realized that. Merch, settings world champion. Yeah, did that. Yep, to the exit I guess.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready
Yep.
to move on now?
I'm ready. I know it says please no screenshots. What happens if I take a screenshot?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I
Nothing.
know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
I'm ready.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
It's even worse.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable tool. Let me see if I can whip something up.
What do you got for me?
Go ahead. Take a look.
I'm ready. Oh my god. All the sliders are red now. Everything's red. Let's do this.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yes.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Happy 12th
Stanley
birthday,
decided to go to the meeting
Stanleys.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
This is great.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him,
No,
begging
the
him
new
to pick it
content
up.
thing.
Why was he not doing
Wait, there was
it?
a bucket? Where's the bucket? Oh, there it is.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I walked around it, so I didn't see it. I got a bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
You're the
Expand
worst.
on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point.
I went
Share
through
your
the
journal
infinite
entries
hole with this
detailing the
thing.
rich emotional
The
landscape of your
infinite
feelings
hole.
for
What
the
have you
bucket
done?
as they have
Nothing.
changed and evolved over the years.
Nothing.
Let him have it.
You are a worthless closet, and I am leaving. Take that. Beneath me.
Okay, I've got you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You
I'll
can't
find it.
buy
You
that
just
sort
wait.
of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Boop. That's 3.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I have a bucket. Another one.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Still nothing over there. Let's go, bucket. It's you and me. We're on an adventure.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind
Not yet.
Control Facility.
Bucket friend.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I love all these voice lines just changed to include the bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I don't think I was supposed to do that. I'm kind of trapped now. Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. I have to begin the game again. I trapped myself.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, we're just gonna do all this stuff again. Oh, what the? That's new. How can we find them all? Bottom text. Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. Okay, I really like this new room. Oh. It actually are these clues about where it is? Inside of a sequel exhibit. We did that. Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to this. We got the fireplace one. Wait, where was that one? I don't actually. Oh, right. In a private but smelly place for an important person. Some are both red and blue. Stairs, something to do with stairs, and a large room, lots of boxes. I don't remember where those are, but we'll find them eventually, I think.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Never mind.
The broom closet. It
It's
wants
the
the
same.
bucket.
You can feel... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
There it is.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines.
That's
And
the
now
stairs
I'm
one.
torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I love when numbers go up. Go that way a different time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Going back
Crushed
to the
by
mind
the weight
control
of
ending
this
with the bucket.
revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Bucket
Was
champ.
it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Now I know there was a hidden, where I got trapped, I know there's a hidden ending there. I just don't remember how to unlock it. I thought it was something to do with pressing the button and going back.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
It was like the disco
The
ending.
lights
but
rose on an
I thought it
enormous
was
room
hit that
packed
one and
with
run back.
television
Maybe
screens.
it said the last one I
What
hit it and run
horrible
back.
secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears
No, bucket.
as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Okay, I think it's this one. No.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Nope,
Had the
it was that
bucket
one.
been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
I'm totally
But
titling
here
this
was the proof.
video Love Thy
The
Bucket.
heart of the operation. Controls labeled
3.
with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking,
5.
eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this
1,
very place.
2.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided
I
that
know
this
there's no power
machinery
yet.
would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket
3.
would dismantle the controls for good. Two
That's
best
5.
friends,
There's 4.
Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool
that 4?
way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about
That might be
taking
4 up there.
down the system.
But I need power to hit that one. Okay. But there's no power. We're gonna shut it down and we're gonna escape together. You and me, Bucket. You and me.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the Bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
You and me, Bucket.
Stanley and the Bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the Bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The Bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and...
Oh, what?
What? Wait. What was happening? Why
No.
had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the Bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the Bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the Bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the Bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the Bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious Bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the Bucket.
Oh, silver
To be
lining.
trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my Bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Rip. Not allowed to leave. Alright, we got all 5 buttons. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. Oh yeah, it's this room. It's just a row of buttons. I'm gonna press every button and see what happens. It's gonna take me 10 years, but I'm gonna do it. I don't remember if anything actually happens when you press all the buttons. Start with the top row, because that's the hardest row to hit, the buttons. How close? Oh my god. Well, rest in peace me. I actually don't think anything happens if you press them all. How am I doing? I think I'm doing pretty well now. I'm going a bit faster than I was earlier. Quick look. I'm almost half done the top row. Or I'm over half done the top row. This is button pressing simulator now. Oh, they're turning back on. Never mind, we're done here. We're done here. Wait. I'm gonna come back with button and see what happens with the bucket and see what
Already
happens.
this was uncomfortable.
Oh, never mind, I closed my
And
door.
Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Ooh. I'm gonna grab the bucket and fall down and see if anything changes.
The confusion and
Let's
the
go,
chaos
bucket.
all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Does this change?
Yes,
Whispered the bucket into Stanley's
Does-
ear.
we've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans,
Oh my.
and the bucket's own complicity
Oh
therein,
my.
of sadness and regret,
Bucket's
and the many
a
years it
murderer.
spent dwelling on the actions
I
it
like you,
might have
Bucket.
taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of
Oh, never
life
mind.
for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own
Oh,
darkness
I'm out of coffee.
with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
What?
My God, Stanley!
No!
You did it! You saved us from the bucket! Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, you would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Bucket. 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 Bucket? What are you doing here? Oh, I don't go through the starting rooms. Okay.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms, Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to
Alright,
his chest.
let's
and
go.
entered
Which
the
way do I want to go
doorway
this
left.
time? I want to go to the blue and red room. I don't remember how to get there. I think it's down. Somewhere both red and blue. I think if I go down, that's how we get to that
Coming
part.
to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the
I
boss's
could be
office.
completely wrong. Oh no, I don't think this is right.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
I think this is
He
an
considered
infinite
the
loop.
possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
Oh, no.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the
Oh,
bucket
this is the
in his
crazy
arms.
ending?
Am I crazy? He asked the bucket.
Oh, this is the crazy
The bucket
ending.
returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this.
No.
Who knows
My
what
bucket.
sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it.
Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
He had to
I'll
find
find your
the bucket.
bucket.
He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Oh my god.
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
No bucket.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass, and she backflipped all the way to work.
Amazing. That's how to get around, backflipping everywhere. Shit, I was about to do something and I forgot what I was about to do. Oh, yes. That's what I want. Oh, no, not like that. What's the difference? Oh. No. What's this one? Ew. Whatever. Sorry, Jess, just testing this. I'm just shrinking it a little. I want to see if it cuts off. Nope, still doesn't cut off. It was a little too big. I noticed it was taking up like the whole right side of the screen. So I'm just shrinking the size of the box. Now it's really small. Can I change the size of it? Of the text? No. Font size. Can. second test. That's better. I'm just testing the font size. Too big? Alright, shrunk it a bit. Still a little big. I don't like the way that looks. Alright, everything. That's better. That's much better. Everything should be centered to the left side of the box now. Although, actually, if I do that, I think I need to have the chat on the left side and me on the right. If I do it this way. Chat box there. Webcam over here. No. Oh, now it's off center again. Damn it. What a No, that's still off a little bit. There we go. There. That should be better. How's that look? Everything's in the frame. Everything looks in the frame. There. That should be a bit better. If I have the chat box, I should have chat on left, me on right, if I'm going to keep the chat box. This way, chat is perfectly centered on the left side of the screen. That looks much better now with chat. Okay. You do that. If I'm keeping chat, it looks better to have chat on left, me on right. Thank you. You're whipping up stuff? Is it your lotion? Or are you making food?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
I'm trying to remember how to get to the blue and red room.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
Maybe
and
I can go
entered
down
the
the
door
elevator
on
in
his
the
left.
boss's office. Let's try that.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay. Let's go up. Oh, I don't want to be here. Okay, let's go down. That would just whisper Stanley. Wait. Okay, never mind. I thought it was saying numbers. God, where do I find the other code? Just don't remember.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Alright, we're gonna go the escape path this time, or turn power to the place. Which one do I want to do? I think escape path is death, so we'll do that.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Oh my.
But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought, nope, it's death.
Okay, it's
Stanley
death.
and the bucket.
We're going for death.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Yep. We're here to die. Into the meat grinder. I actually don't remember what's here. Ah, it's the crusher.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Ah.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Oh, it's gone. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn out here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? I don't know. I do not know.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own?
That's a lot of buckets.
Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can
Photograph
you see
of
that the
25
bucket is
buckets?
far more noble than
Greatest
Stanley will ever be in
buckets
his
ever
short
captured on
life?
camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. Hard to believe that's only 25 buckets. Seems, impressive. Very impressive. A bucket with 2 handles. This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. I love this exhibit already. Yeah. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket. My God. The stress bucket, an analogy. The stress bucket, presented without commentary. Okay. It's porn. Yes. Cave drawing. While we know the buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket. Innuendo bucket. I even said it out loud and you still got it wrong. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Yay, bucket. The bucket has deemed us
No
worthy.
man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh, I'm jumping into the pit, aren't I? The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. I don't want to live anymore without... Oh, wait. What? Bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Uh-oh.
Let Stanley die.
No.
Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader,
Alright,
as
I'll allow it.
commander of a new world, a new vision.
Ooh, that was a squinch. Squelch. I meant to say squish and squelch, and somehow you got squinch. Alright.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket.
Yep.
Off on another thrilling adventure.
Alright, we're going right
together.
this time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him. telling him that the employee
Hi,
lounge
Monty.
was simply the place
Yep,
to be.
Stanley has a bucket. How are you, Monty?
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left
Don't
to
tell
go
the bucket
back
it's
to
wrong.
the meeting room.
No.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
There it is. Can I get on this? I can. We've got another collectible.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler
Older.
Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Where do I go from here? Is that a vent? Ooh, I don't remember this. This is new. Or maybe it isn't and I just don't remember it. Wait, is this the telephone ending? No, this is different. I think. Tape recorder.
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket,
This is a
the
new ending.
less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms.
Hey, the bucket is very powerful.
Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure?
The bucket loves you.
I can monetize it.
It loves you.
Yes.
No, don't monetize the bucket.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get...
Oh my.
What's that? Who's there? Caporata.
Oh my god. Oh my. Terrifying. Only mildly terrifying. Wait. This is different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Dog mode. Can I just say I love this?
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I'm trying to remember where the red and blue room is.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
$5,000 for... I believe
Good,
it's
said the
that way.
bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
And then later.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I love dog mode already. Danger. Danger everywhere. Well, that is life.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point."
What?
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Is this a bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
I'm gonna
Simply
get
enough, right?
everything wrong.
This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a
Wait.
bucket.
What?
Not an actual bucket.
What?
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I'm doing great.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect.
Oh,
This is a bucket.
man. Tried.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
I knew it.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't help it. I'm sorry, but I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
You can't do this.
Okay, here we go.
You're not allowed. You are not allowed.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear?
Everything was a bucket.
Was everything a bucket?
Yes!
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Come on, bucket.
We're
going to do what you want.
A humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No,
it's all buckets.
Never mind.
Nothing but buckets.
The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door
on
his
bucket.
left
We're
to
doing
go
what you
back
want.
to the meeting room.
You want it up there? We're going up there.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the... Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
Almost walked off.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Yep.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
A dark room.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Doesn't seem all that dark to me. This one's on this room does seem dark.
Now pick up the phone,
said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay. I want to go home with the bucket.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
There's my bucket. Hey, bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press X to take me to work with you. Okay.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press P to take me back home with you. Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press Z for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
You're the one who introduced me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Okay.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket.
Oh
no,
my.
No. What's going on?
Oh
Why do I
no.
want to be with the bucket. Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it
Am I
asks.
trying to
What's
seduce
wrong
the
with me?
bucket?
I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this
There's a
would
bucket
be
in
less
the picture.
confusing.
Was there a bucket in
Yes.
that picture? Oh
The
yeah, he was
bucket
seeing to
could
the
tell me
bucket.
what to do in this troublesome situation.
Stanley, don't sex the bucket. Don't do it, Stanley.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
What happened? Alright, I've gone back to work.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this
All right.
Stan? The embrace
next?
of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test
back to the
of
phone
time.
room.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
Clap.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left
No,
to
he
go
didn't.
back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Yeah, good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Yes.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
No.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it, but there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
No.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
I maybe should have said I'm
Finally,
done with the funny.
it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Well, now I know how to
Hey,
be funny.
goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay. They gated it.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
To-do.
Here we
All right,
go. You
I'm
ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
And now I go right.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp.
Oh,
I
sorry.
think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Oh.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are.
Oh god, the puns. This is for you, Monty.
Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Really?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There we go. I'm sorry, Bucket. You can't come with me this time.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I know, I just want to check.
Stanley was so bad at following directions,
I wanna
it's
check the red
incredible
and
he
blue
wasn't
room.
fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your
There it is.
side. Give me...
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This
I did it.
is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Yeah.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
You say that, but it's blue.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I
Nope.
still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
What if I don't? I have no choice. Understood.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating pain. Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh god, is it the baby?
In
It
this
is.
game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
We're never doing this again. Die.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
I'm not doing
hey,
it for
since my game
4
is so
hours.
awful, why don't we play someone else's
I know at
game,
one point
just to ease
it
the
adds a
pain?
second button.
Let's see. What do we have here?
And I forget what happens.
Yes.
I used to know.
This seems like
I
it'll
don't
work.
remember.
Let's give it a shot.
Oh, what the?
Aha!
I don't remember this.
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stan?
It's Firewatch?
What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity.
I never
So
actually
far,
played
I love
Firewatch, but I'm
everything
pretty
about
sure
this
this
game,
is
Stanley.
Firewatch.
And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Still in dog mode.
Oh no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
No.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
What's it bringing me to now? Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
Some of the
There are
soccer
lots
ball.
of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun.
Sports ball.
We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
I got this. And, I'm yellow team. Yeah. Oh, I'm faster now. I got a speed boost.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. Hold on. What are you doing?
What happened?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You
Oh,
can't do
shit.
it.
I fell again. I have no idea if this is a new ending or one I missed in the first one, but I feel like this is a new ending. I don't remember there being a Firewatch reference or a Rocket League reference. Ah, my office. There's nothing here.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Okay.
I can wait.
Okay. What else is there? I think I'll do one more ending and then take a break. Oh, what the heck? Maybe more than one ending, because this is unexpected. We'll see how long this ending
Stanley,
is.
I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it
Am I
just the
doing an
most
evening train?
intrinsically
Probably.
fulfilling
Got
moment of
nothing
your
else to do at
entire
night.
life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
Jess,
Just
we're going
one
back to
more
the memory
time.
zone. Never mind, this will probably be a long ending, so... This will probably still be the last ending then. If it's gonna be long. We got all the figurines.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent.
There's a figurine.
We'll
There
never
actually
be
was
like
a
that
figurine
again,
ending.
Stanley.
7 of 6. Oh, that's uncomfortable. Why would you do this to me? Why would you let me have 7 of 6? No. This is so uncomfortable.
And here was a second Stanley
Oh
ring.
no, am I gonna have
You
12
found
of
this
6?
one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Aw, thank you, I think. What's next? Oh,
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
it was the boss's office. But what happens if I get it wrong? We're gonna do the boss's office. But I love getting things wrong. You know what? You decide. Which one? Am I picking the right answer or the wrong answer? And I will just chill here. Wrong? Got it.
No. Under the stairs was the 4th place you found a Figanley, not the 3rd. Well, I
You were
guess
too late,
perhaps I
Monty.
shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If under the stairs feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
I guess it probably doesn't matter
Let's
much.
see. What came next? Oh,
This
yes,
isn't
we
right.
found a Figley in this pink room.
I don't
well,
know this pink
I can't
room.
actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
10 of 6. Nice.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate
can't
the
follow.
occasion. Enjoy.
Wait. A video? Yes! Oh. It's such low quality, it's perfect. Yeah, high five. God, it's like, this is an early YouTube video, I love it. Best boy, the narrator. Starring Stanley, copyright the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
8 minutes to make the whole video? Nice. Jesus, you're Arion. Stop eating plants. Your cats really love to eat your plants.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other, except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Both doors don't matter. You are in the present.
And then
Trippy.
there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Is that it?
No,
Oh.
no, I'm not
Cut off
done.
the loading
I'm
bar.
not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay. Wait, does that mean I'm giving up the collectibles?
Okay, yes, the room with the red and
Oh.
blue doors. I remember this.
Oh my
I
god.
must say, of all the
We're gonna go up to
figurines we
18.
looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Okay.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yes.
Yes, I love that video.
It was great.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yep, I don't remember this room either.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
What happens if I go this way now? Oh. It didn't let. It's just a black room.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collect them all. I did. Oh no, we're back here. It's the jump circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we
Aw.
were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Oh.
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Uh-oh.
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Does it just restart now? I think it did. I think that's it. Nothing fancy?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Alright, I got one
Stanley
more thing I
decided
want
to
to
go
test
the meeting
before I
room.
forget how
Perhaps
to
he
do
had
it.
simply missed a memo. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man.
How do I do this? No. No. Hmm. Darn it.
And a better co-worker. In time, perhaps he would become both of those things.
Wait. It's gone. I can't do it. No. It's not in here anymore. Dang it. Oh, it still says the sequel. No, I just wanted to SV cheats. I wanted to do the cheat button. Because I remembered about it, but now I can't do it. Damn it. Just go to an ending then, since I've already started. This is a long hallway.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Reboot the
Perhaps
game
his boss's
entirely.
office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase.
What happens if I do this? Oh. Hello.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Wait, when it says reboot the game entirely,
Still no one was here.
what if I quit? Like, what if I quit the desktop? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna reload it and see what happens. then, if nothing happens, current time is 4 p.m. Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Thank you. Since I rebooted the game, did anything change?
This is... All of his co-workers were gone.
Welcome back.
What could
Quit
it
the game
mean?
and then start it again.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent.
I just want to go to the fancy
Stanley
room.
checked his ego and then proceeded on.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here.
Oh, it's just back to normal
Stanley
stuff
needed
now.
the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Okay.
Perhaps his bosses...
Alright. That's it. For now. I'll probably be back tonight because I have nothing else to do, but I need a break. So, thanks for watching, and enjoy your day. Bye-bye.